Hello Aries, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aries for the week of September 19th. Now do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Aries, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you. Now I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, as well as the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below, if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. All right, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Aries. Let's make sure we're all set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it. All right. And I think that looks just about good enough to me. All right, let's go ahead and take 3 of these oracle cards here to clarify as we go along. Energy on the bottom, you have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is a really nice card that can indicate prospects in your life looking up, or prospects looking good in your life. You could say that this is some sort of new material offer as well, but this is typically like if you've been looking to get into it, a university or a school can come in with the Page of Pentacles, because Pentacles also talks about academia. But if you've been looking for some other type of prospect, maybe you've been, the job portion of it is more closely associated with this Page of Wands. But if you've been, for example, you've been looking for a house, or you've been looking to secure funding, or you've been looking for a loan, or maybe you've been looking for a car, like those sorts of things could be coming in here with the Page of Pentacles. Also, if you're already in a job, your prospects within your current job could be looking up, in that you could be in the running for a raise or an opportunity like that when you get the Page of Pentacles. So definitely like to see this. In fact, you have, what, 3 pages here showing up. And so definitely a busy period of time for you here in this middle of the month, showing up here in the reading. Pages are messengers. They deliver information, or can spread information, or bring news into your life. And so, though, to get 3 of the possible 4 in the first reading here, that suggests that there could be a very, very communicative, busy period of time for you showing up here in, this week of September and moving on. So let's go ahead and let's dive in here. In the overall situation, you have this Ace of Wands. This Ace of Wands, this spills into the rest of the cards here. And so this is a very important placement in this spread. And I love the Ace of Wands. It's personally my favorite, if not one of my favorites, or my second favorite card. Ace of Wands is all about the spark of life. It is the new beginning that you are looking for in your life, right? You can see that there's like energy coming out of the hand here with the wand. And this is the idea of getting started on something, passionately going in a new direction. The Ace of Wands can also say that it's really the best time to actually start something, to physically start something. So whether this is a new side hustle, this is a new workout routine, healthy eating, and maybe a new relationship. Maybe you're going to get on Tinder, as we are looking at the Wands suit, right? Fire, Wands, Tinder. That's very also possible here. And so if you're looking to physically get started on something, maybe create a new dating profile or whatever it is, that Ace of Wands is very good. I think for many of you, this is probably related to work though. So we have wand, 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 and then we have 3 pages. And so we also have just a ton of fire energy, as the Strength card is the card of Leo. And so Wands connects to your work, your career, your enterprise. I think that there are new beginnings in those areas for you. I think there are new prospects in those areas for you. For some of you, this is a mix between like a new job offer here in the future and maybe some other type of financial prospect or something like that happening here. So I'll be interested to see what other messages we get. But in the past, you have the Star, you have the Hanging Man, and you also have the Strength card. So the Star card here You actually, come to think of it, my two favorite cards, the Star and the Ace of Wands, probably one of my favorite combinations. Definitely love both of these cards. And the Star is all about, in this, I feel like saying synchronicities. You can see the kind of stars above this person. They're kind of in like an idyllic area, a tranquil area, and they're kind of communing with the universe. It can be about synchronicities, it can be about tranquility, but the Star also brings a wish into your life, where it says that there could be a wish kind of being granted to you at this time. And so not only that, but it's also a major card of optimism. And I feel like there's movement here. I feel like this is a very quick period of time for you. I feel like there's a movement here. I think some of you have planted a wish. You've thrown a wish out to the universe and you said, here, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for. And you are sort of, we'll say, being compensated from the universe, I'll just say, in that wish. And so I don't actually mean that in a monetary, in a money way. I mean that in like, I think you understand what I'm saying. I think some of you have been wishing for something and the universe has sort of compensated you with your wish, like because of this Ace of Wands here in the middle, which is giving you that sort of spark of life, and really is getting you started here. You have this Strength card, which is all about having the courage to overcome any sort of challenge that may be placed in your path or put in your way. And so this is also about courage, power, confidence, bravery, all of those sorts of things. This person is hugging a lion, right? Like, you have to be so strong that you can hug a lion. That is what the Strength card is about. And then you also have this Hanging Man, which asks you to really let go. And as you let go, you embrace a new transformation. You embrace a new beginning in your life. Also take note here, you have the Star, the Hanging Man, and the Strength card. These are all major arcanas in the past. And so I feel like for some of you here, there's been like major themes that have played out. There's been major elements, major things that have happened in your life here in the past. And I almost feel like this is all coming to a head in the current situation. So the reason I say that is, in the current situation, you have the Page of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands, and you also have the Seven of Wands here. So when you think about this, so this Page of Swords, this can represent, I like to say that this is the Mercury retrograde card, and we are in this Mercury retrograde here right now. And so just friendly reminder, give yourself extra time, be careful with, confrontation. I mean, if you need to have a confrontation, try to do it with love. Be very careful about like burning bridges at this time. Just be careful with your, your time management generally. But outside of that, this Page of Swords can say that you're maybe taking a thoughtful approach to something in your life. You are really taking even like a high IQ, like a high intellect approach to something in your life. And you need the details, and you're acquiring the details. Like you're looking at the analytics, you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the finances, you're kind of like piecing together everything. And that's what I kind of see here for you. You have this Ace of Wands, which I've talked about at length now, getting started on something, passion, new beginning, exciting energy. And then you do have this Seven of Wands here, which is about competition, or it can be, because you've been successful. That's the thing about the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands only comes forward if you've been successful in your life. And, with this Seven of Wands, what could be going on is you've had some sort of, you've had to take a brave leap forward in this new direction here with the Strength card. You've had to really, exhibit bravery in letting go of something. And now that you've let go, now that you've taken the first step in this new direction, you have to stand your ground. And in the face of maybe competition, but if there's somebody who's telling you that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, or that, where you're going is wrong, or what you're doing is not right, this Seven of Wands says stand your ground and recognize that you've made this choice for a reason, and that you are capable of, moving in this new direction and embracing this transformation that seems to be here, or seems to be on the way for you. In the future, you have the Ten of Wands, you have the Page of Wands, and you also have the High Priestess. So it's just so much fire energy here. So the Ten of Wands, this can represent some type of burden here in your life. This person's kind of carrying the weight of the world here, and they are struggling to maintain everything. They're struggling to hold on. This is illustrating or symbolism for the fact that they need to declutter or de-stress, or they need to take some things off their plate because they've become overwhelmed by the amount of tasks that they have. And so what I would say is take one thing at a time. Remember to be thoughtful in the actions that you take here with the Page of Swords, because I'm not telling you not to do something. In fact, it seems like a good time for doing something. But what I'm saying is, especially with 3 pages here, not only do pages represent other people, but again, they can represent news or invitations or offers. You're going to be having like a lot of things and people that step in here, I think, for this week and maybe beyond. And it'll be important that you sort of do your best to manage expectations and manage the workload that is associated with that, is what I feel like saying. Now, this Page of Wands, it can indicate a job offer in your life or a career opportunity. It can also say that there's good news arriving. I definitely feel like that could be the case. And then lastly here, you have this High Priestess, which is about trusting yourself, trusting the knowledge that you have internally, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, following the voice of your soul, and listening to the message between the message, listening to the universe. The High Priestess can also be something that is hidden. It can be something that is mysterious. It can be something that's esoteric. And as it is in this lower row, some of you may be having some profound dreams. The lower row is the subconscious. It's the dream realm. And so for some of you, you may be having some like pretty prophetic dreams at this time around all of this new energy that's kind of coming into your life. So let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 oracle cards here. Okay, so you have Freya, phases and cycles. There's a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. You have Diana, focused intention. Think about what you desire, set your sights high, expect the best possible outcome. And then you also have Mother Mary, love and peace. Let go of the need to be right, choose peace. Mother, healing is possible at this time. All right, so I definitely feel like for you, this idea of focused intention is, and the beginning, there's a beginning within every ending. I definitely think that those 2 things are heavily showing up and influencing you at this reading, at the time that I'm looking at in this reading. And I think this idea of focused intention is very important because there are going to be a lot of people and a lot of things that are grabbing or vying for your attention here. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's start to clarify this situation even more. So if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. So you have the 9 of Swords, you have the Hermit, the Emperor, the Moon, 10 of Wands again, and the King of Pentacles. So you have the King of Wands twice. You also have the Star and the Moon. That's a planetary type of energy, a galactic type of energy, if you ask me. Synchronicities here, I definitely feel like could be coming in for you. But the 10 of Wands, to get that twice, definitely you can see the load that they are carrying here, the burden that they are carrying on their shoulder, or on the weight of the world on their back. And I do think that with all of this exciting new energy, there will come some additional burdens or expectations associated with that. And so I would say, like, definitely this is a time for managing expectations. And I also think that this is a time to be thoughtful in your focus, okay? Thoughtful in your focus, because I almost get the sense that some of you, it would be very helpful if you sort of knocked out one thing at a time, or you did one thing at a time here. Like, okay, I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to talk to this person. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do, like, I think like singular focus here is very important so that you do not get weighed down by the amount of burdens here. By the way, this is, I think, what I would consider to be eustress, which there are multiple forms of stress, and eustress is actually good stress. Okay, eustress means that you are doing well, and it just means that through doing well and through having more success in your life comes more responsibility. And so I think that some of you, it's definitely not anything to be concerned, but I think some of you are making strides here, and as a result you have like eustress, you have an increase in healthy stress or good stress. You have the Nine of Swords, the Moon. The Nine of Swords represents, there's something here in the past that you really needed to jump over or hurdle over here, and you successfully did that with the Strength card, the Hanging Man, and the Star. You have this Hermit card, which is all about kind of being introspective. I also think that that's a very important thing that's coming in here with the Moon, the High Priestess, and the Hermit. All of those cards can point to some level of introspection or being intuitive or trusting your intuition. Then you have the Emperor and the King of Pentacles, which is really, really, really about being a boss. That is all about being a leader and being authoritative and sort of moving up in your situation, in your career, and so forth and so on. So definitely really like this reading for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.